Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome to the very spontaneous live stream. This is the Dream Clairvoyant. Thank you guys so very much for tuning in. And yes, the screen is intentionally blacked out. That's just how I do most of my live streams. It's not a regular tarot reading. It's more so me relaying a channeled message that I received. So just sit back, relax, and listen to the message that I will be delivering. This message is for, first of all, before I get started, I want to remind all of you guys, as always, please use discernment when it comes to general readings. Only take what resonates with you. Never force any message, especially a general message, to resonate with you. It's general for a reason. And even when you go to spiritualists to do a reading, still use discernment, because you never know if the message that they're delivering to you is correct. Okay. Recently, I have been picking up on true divine partnerships. I'm talking those of you who waited and God revealed your divine partner to you, or your kingdom spouse to you, and you've met them. Okay, I've noticed that recently my readings have been like very strong and very specific, and I'm starting to realize now, I'm starting to see now that it's because the message is pertaining to true divine counterparts. I can't believe it took me so long to recognize that. So be careful, okay? I want to say discern always. When I pick up on these divine partnerships, the message is always so unique. Like, I really have to ask the Holy Spirit to enlighten me about the connection so that I can rightfully guide you, because the devil seeks to destroy anything that is of God. And what I've noticed in these divine partnership readings that I've been channeling, the devil's trying to cause so much conflict and chaos between two people who are meant to be, so that the both of them can just give up and walk away from each other due to chaos, conflict, and confusion. So, as I'm channeling these messages for divine counterparts, I'm always being called to remind them forgiveness, to remind them to be forgiving, and to show grace and mercy to their divine counterpart. Now, if you're someone who's in a toxic, abusive relationship where you know very well, you know very well that this person's not for you. They've told you they don't want you. They've intentionally disrespected you. Then why in the world would you watch a love reading and assume that it's about them? And the reason why I'm highlighting this is I notice this pattern where when it's a reading that is positive, okay, and it's about two lovers, or it's a reading that centers around forgiveness and showing grace to people who have wronged us, there's always a few angry comments. Like, recently there was a comment under one of my channels that's like, what I was doing, that my message was dangerous to people, because I was convincing people to go, to tolerate toxic relationships. And I was like, what? If there's one thing with me in my readings, I don't sugarcoat a single thing. If I see toxicity, I'll call it like it is. But I think it's people who are still healing from painful relationships. So anything about love, anything that is positive, they don't want to hear it. And I'm going to start taking those comments very seriously. I always open my comments. Anyone can, comment under my videos. But if it's something that promotes unforgiveness, if it's a comment that promotes unforgiveness, if it's a comment that is deliberately misunderstanding my message, I will delete it and block the person. If it's a comment that is like, I've noticed some of these comments that will make a good reading look so sour. Heal. You need to heal, heal, and stop thinking that every general reading is about your love life. If I'm picking up on a message about two people who genuinely love each other, and you're commenting, "No, Dream, he cheated on me. How could you say go back so and so?" Clearly, I'm not talking about you. Oh my, we have 100 and something people in the chat, and you guys are so quiet. I'm not reading. Let me see here. Nobody has commented anything. But yeah, I just wanted to make it very clear. Use discernment. Don't try to ruin someone's message because it didn't suit your personal story. If it doesn't fit, it doesn't fit, Not all of my readings are going to be negative and focus on, the karmic or someone doing black magic on you or someone cheating on you with a third party. Like, goodness gracious, be happy when there's a positive message. And if it's not your message, it's not your message. But don't try to turn it sour or debunk it because it doesn't fit your personal story. I'm not going to tolerate that. But back to the initial message as to why I'm even doing this live. I've noticed recently I've been picking up on true divine partnerships, which is so beautiful. Congratulations if you met your true divine counterpart. By the way, nobody can tell you who your divine counterpart is. That's something that's between you and God. And if you're willing to walk your path with God, for some time, it may even take years and years of walking your path with God for him to deem you ready. And then he will show you snippets of your divine counterpart. And when the time is right, you guys will meet. But there's something that I've noticed. There is a divine masculine. I hope that he's watching this. I hope he will watch this. There's a divine masculine who has been completely, absolutely deprived. He has been deprived. He has taken such extreme losses. He has been through such deep and painful betrayals. He has experienced abandonment and neglect. And he has been in a state of such heavy loss that now that God has restored him, now that God has brought him, an incredible partner, an incredible divine feminine, he almost doesn't know how to act. It's almost like there's a divine masculine who's used to taking losses. He's used to people betraying him. He's used to, people cheating on him. He's used to having to fight and compete. It's almost like he's always in survival. He's used to having to be in survival mode. He's used to having to be suspicious of people and cautious of people because of all the deceitful individuals who he has met. And so much to the point where now that things are better, now that God has brought restoration into his life, he doesn't know how to respond to it. Okay? He doesn't know how to respond to it. And he may be behaving in ways that is sort of turning off the divine feminine. He may be, like, for example, very protective or overly protective. Okay? Because he's used to thieves taking from him. And he doesn't want anyone to take away his divine feminine. He may be, used to cheaters. So he's constantly having to be suspicious of people and kind of look over his shoulders or snoop into their business to make sure that they're not betraying him. So now he's being super suspicious of the divine feminine. I feel like this is a divine masculine who once upon a time believed that he was like bad luck. Like he could never have anything good or anyone good. And now that he has someone good, it's almost like he's, what is it? Like he's hogging it. And this is what happens when people have been in a state of loss, deprivation for so long, and then they finally get something good, right? They will hold on to it with all their might, with all their mind, body, and soul. Because for such a long time, they were empty for such a long time. They were experiencing a loss. Is this making sense, you guys? I have so many people in the chat, but I don't see any comments. I don't know if it's just my phone or what, but definitely comment if this is making sense here. Because I feel like in the year 2022, last year was when a good amount of people met their divine counterpart. 2022, the year of the twos, okay? And like I said earlier, anything that is of God, anything that God puts together, the devil seeks to destroy it. And I've been picking up on many channeled messages where there's chaos and confusion to separate two people. And just know that anywhere where there's chaos and confusion, the devil is there. That's like his fingerprint. That's how you can catch him. When he leaves a crime scene, you know that the devil was there if there was chaos and confusion. That's just what he does. That's his tactic. Because in chaos, confusion, and conflict, there's misunderstandings that can separate two people. So I've been very, very careful with my readings lately to really try to understand the message in order to deliver it correctly. It's one thing to see, it's one thing to have visions and to see, but it's another thing to carry the gift of discernment where you're able to actually understand what you're seeing and piece together what you see, right, in order to deliver the message correctly. It's one thing to memorize the meaning of all 72 cards in a tarot deck, right? But you also need the spirit of discernment to help you truly to interpret the cards, right? It's one thing to memorize the cards, but can you interpret the message of the cards in a spread? It's one thing to see, but it's another thing to understand what you're seeing, what's being revealed to you. So I've been very, very careful. And I've, most of my readings, I try to look a bit deeper. I try to be fair and kind of understand both lovers' perspective so that we can come to some sort of mutual understanding, because I know that these readings that I've been doing, the messages that I've been picking up on, it's definitely pertaining to some of you guys who are truly in a divine partnership. Why am I not seeing the comments? I'm sorry, you guys. I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not seeing the comments. I see a lot of people in the chat, but I don't see any comments. So I'm not ignoring you guys on purpose. But, if this is you where you've met your divine counterpart and you're noticing some behavior and you're like, what is going, you're like, what is going on here? It's because he's been deprived. Before you entered his life, this is someone who was going through devastating losses. This is someone who is being backstabbed and betrayed. And the reason why the two of you are being brought together is so that you can look out for each other, so that he can count on you and you can count on him. And the two of you can protect and defend each other and guide each other rightfully. But remember, when imagine you've been in a state of complete loss and then you finally find something good, you're going to hold on to it. You're going to hog it, you're going to cherish it, treasure it. And so if you truly believe that, this is the man who God has for me, don't be too quick to react when you see him being overprotective, okay? Or when you see him being a bit paranoid, overly cautious, is because this is someone who's been on that battlefield. And what my message to the divine masculine is, you got to work on yourself. God removed you out of that battlefield, and now it's time to adopt a new way of life, right? It's time to adopt a new mentality. You can't keep on behaving like how you behaved in the past. You're not in the past anymore. You're in the present. God has brought you a brand new beginning. And you can't keep on acting like you're in a war zone, even though he took you out of that war zone. Okay, so if you're this divine masculine, it's time to heal, and it's time to forgive the people who hurt you, so that you won't think that everybody's just out to get you, right? You won't be so paranoid, and you won't be, when you forgive, you don't just forgive the person, but by forgiving, you also release what happened and what they did. There's no healing without forgiveness. It's impossible to heal without forgiving. And just know that it's time to adopt a new mentality, and it's time to adopt a new way of life. Okay? You're in a new beginning, but you're still behaving like you're in that war zone, that battlefield that God saved you from. And you don't want to continue living that way, because you may end up sabotaging this divine partnership. Okay, so that's all, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and end the live stream. It was supposed to be short and sweet, and indeed it is. We're at 16 minutes. So thank you guys so very much for all of your support. I truly appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Take care, everyone, and many blessings to you.